Coming up, we've got schedule news from the Outlaws and USAC, and then we've got to talk about Donny Schatz. Let's go. Today is Thursday, February 24th, 2022. Welcome into Dirt Tracker Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. We'll kick today's show off with a few news items for you from the last 24 hours. First up, the dirt racing coming up this weekend got a little lighter yesterday with the cancellation of the two upcoming World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series events in Mississippi and Louisiana. The events at Magnolia Motor Speedway and the Rev on Friday and Saturday have been lost to weather. Rain all week has led to the facilities being too saturated, and to keep fans and teams from traveling for no reason, the events were called early. Fans who had purchased tickets in advance will receive a credit on their account or can request a refund. For more information on the ticket policy, visit worldofoutlaws.com. This weekend's cancellation means we now won't see the series until March 4th and 5th, when they're scheduled for a two-race night event at Cotton Bowl Speedway in Texas. Following the Texas events, the Outlaws are then headed west to California for the traditional springtime West Coast swing. In other schedule news, USAC announced yesterday the addition of Circle City Raceway to the National Sprint Car calendar. The series will take on Circle City on Friday, September 16th, which creates a doubleheader in Indiana that weekend, with Hobstadt already scheduled for that Saturday, September 17th. Tanner Thorson won the first ever trip to Circle City by the USAC Sprint Cars last year. Following last weekend's racing in Florida, the series is quiet right now until April, when they return to action at Lawrenceburg Speedway. Over to today's main topic. It was exactly 2 weeks ago today that the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series season opened at Volusia, and in advance of that race night, we talked on the show about the potential championship contenders. On that Thursday, we talked about the chances of what I consider to be kind of the top 5 drivers with a real shot at the title. They're Brad Sweet, Donny Schatz, David Gravel, Logan Schuchart, and Carson Macedo. I did have a complaint that Sheldon Haudenschild wasn't on that list, but I think until he can find some consistency, the jury is still out on Sheldon's championship hopes. If you take the last 3 seasons as a whole, Brad Sweet is the easy favorite, no doubt about it. Nobody has done what he's done en route to 3 straight titles here recently. As for the others, I think Logan Schuchart still has some work to do to find his 2020 form, and Volusia showed they aren't quite there yet. He needed big charges to get his 2 top 10 results back a couple weeks ago, was in a B-main one night, and had a 25th place finish. I'm also intrigued by the potential of Carson Macedo and the improvement we've seen from him as he gets more experience as a full-timer. I said as much 2 weeks ago. And following the opening 3 nights at Volusia, the easy overreaction call right now is David Gravel. A 4th, a 2nd, and a win showed that team has tremendous speed out of the gate, and their average finish of 2.33 is a series best very early on here. We even saw a little media reaction in this direction from my guy Jeremy Elliott over at SprintCarUnlimited.com. His post last week wrapping up the Sprint Car openers down south led with him wondering if Gravel is the championship favorite. But much like Sheldon, Gravel needs to do it over a full season. He's always good early in a race night, but can he close out? That's the big question. Over the past 5+ seasons, nobody has done better in qualifying, heat races, or dashes with the World of Outlaws than David Gravel. But he trails Schatz in wins and both Schatz and Sweet in top 5s, top 10s, and average finish. He must be better come future time to be a serious threat. I say all of these things to get to Donny Schatz. He opened Dirt Car Nationals with that emphatic win over Kyle Larson on a cowboy-up surface and finished 7th and 6th the next 2 nights. A very solid start to 2022, especially after it took him more than 30 nights to win a race last year. In my championship preview, I mentioned how strong Donny was over the second half of 2021, even though he only ended up 4th in the standings. I wanted to dive a little deeper into those numbers to see where Schatz really is in comparison to his peers since his season turned around during the summer of 2021. We wanted to get an idea of how serious of a title threat he might be this season. I pulled together race results from the previous 40 Outlaw nights for Schatz, which takes us back to Attica on July 13th of 2021. Over that span, 10 drivers made at least 30 features, and I ranked them by average finish. Craig Kinzer, Jacob Allen, and Brock Zierfoss all had average finishes outside the top 10 and are on the bottom of that list. In 7th on the list is Logan Schuchart, 38 features with an average finish of about 8.5. And I'm doing average finish here because, as we talked about before, it's the stat that seems the most closely correlated to championship success. Lead and average finish, win championship. Pretty simple. Sixth on the list is James McFadden, 39 features, average finish just north of 8th. Fifth on the list, Sheldon Haudenschild, all 40 features, average just south of 8th at 7.9. Fourth is Macedo, 40 features, average finish of 6.68. Now, third on the list, give me that drum roll, please. Your reigning champion, Brad Sweet, 40 features, average finish of 6.18. And here's where things get interesting. Second on the list with an average finish just a tick better than Sweet, and by tick, I mean a tick. It's David Gravel, 40 features, average of 6.13. So Sweet 6.18, Gravel 6.13. So that leaves just one driver. Topping the list in average feature finish over the previous 40 Outlaw nights is, you guessed it, Donny Schatz. And he's on top by a pretty significant margin. 40 features made, average finish of 4.88. That is 1.25 positions better than Gravel on average over those 40 races. At about 2 points per position with the Outlaws, that means Donny has outscored Gravel by 100 points over these past 40 races. And the other drivers, including Sweet, even more than that. Last year's championship was decided by less than that, 20 points less to be exact. So while we were watching Sweet win his third title and Gravel try and chase him down late in the season last year, Schatz very quietly snuck up on his competition. What's even more concerning for those other drivers that are trying to win this championship is that 40 race stretch includes basically every part of the country the Outlaws race in. Ohio, Central Pennsylvania, the Midwest, Knoxville, California, and the West Coast, plus Florida and World Finals. If you're going to win the World of Outlaws Championship in 2022, you're going to have to go through Donny Schatz and that TSR 15. These numbers show a team that have found their stride. They clearly have gotten their package around that Ford engine much better, and I do believe that adding Kerry Madsen to the mix last season helped that progression. Sweet is who they've been chasing. I'm very bullish on Carson Macedo. Obviously, some out there like Gravel, but Donny Schatz is back, baby. If you want to see more stats and numbers like these for the biggest series in dirt racing, head over to dirttracker.com/analytics, and you can get even more with a subscription to Dirt Tracker Plus. On the streaming schedule today, there are 2 shows. Speed Sport TV has Late Models, Modifieds, and Legends from Fayetteville Motor Speedway, and there's Flow Racing 24/7. To see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. That's it for the show today. Have a good Thursday. If you have thoughts about the topics on today's show, please leave them in the comments below or tweet at me. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.